here at Mammoth Caves. We just left our camping spot, and this takes us all the way into the visitor center. It's supposed to be about 7 miles into the visitor center. Passing on the left side. Oops. This is the halfway point between our camp and the visitor center. Started back to our campground, 7 miles on the gravel path. Nobody that way, nobody that way. Hiked our way up this earlier today. Now we get to ride down it. Riding down in gravel is not all that much of a treat either. We like to control our speed. Don't want to let it get out of control. Hello. I like your corgi. This Diamond Caverns is a private business, and it kind of harkens back to the early days of Mammoth Caves tourism. All of these caves, including what's now Mammoth Cave, were private businesses, and there was real competition among the owners to attract tourism dollars and visitation. When the park was created, a lot of them became part of the park, but here's one that is still a private enterprise. This Adventures of Mammoth Caves. They're going to shuttle us. They have quite an operation. They rent e-bikes, they have a bunch of kayaks they rent, they have a zip line, but all we need is their shuttle service. So I'm going to load the kayaks into their truck. They're going to follow us down to the Green River ferry landing. We'll leave our truck there. They'll take us up to the put-in point and leave us, and then we can take all day to do the float if we want, although we probably won't because it's only about 7.5 miles. We're at the Denison Day Use area on the Green River. The water level has finally gone down to the point where they're running kayaking floats again. It's down to, I don't know, between 15 and 17 feet. So it may still be too high for us to go into the cave that's supposed to be along the river here. We hope not, because we'd really like to go into the cave. Apparently it's pretty safe, but it'll be fun anyway. It's not going to be the longest float in the world, 7.5 miles or so. So we'll take our time. The river is starting to look more green, and we're told that it has a very nice aqua or emerald green when it doesn't have a bunch of mud and stuff in it. So we'll have to take their word for it, but it is starting to look greener. We've got the kayaks assembled. We're just doing final preps, and then we'll be on the river.
We're getting ready to put into the Green River and go down about 7.5 miles. And this is where we put in at Denison Ferry. There used to be an old log ferry that went across here called the Denison Ferry. So it's no longer here, but it's still called Denison Ferry. So that's where we're putting in. And then we're taking out at the Hoochin Ferry, I think it is. And this is in the Mammoth Cave National Park. We're told that about a mile down, there's a cave on the left, and if the water's low enough, we'll be able to go in about 100 feet. So I'm hoping that's what I wanted to do. We just got in. That's a little bit of a tricky spot to get in. You got to learn how to do it. That guy up there, he knows how to do it. So Brian's going to try fishing. That's going to be a new trick. Oh, they're actually using that really steep ramp. It's super steep. I wouldn't really want to run our Oro kayaks on it. Anyway, looking forward to this. It's going to be fun. I hope we can go in the cave.
This is the cave. I don't know if we're going to be able to go into it or not. Does it look like we can get in? I think we can get in. I don't know.
Can't get any further?
Well, not without ducking my head way down. And I don't know how well I'll be able to paddle that way.
Yeah. Rats. It just needs to be like, what, a half a foot lower?
Yeah, 6 inches would be great. 3 inches would be great. I don't know, you can try it, but it was kind of uncomfortable. I didn't see that it was going to open up in there. I mean, do you want to try it again? I don't know that I want to get very far in there, not able to raise my head at all.
So this is the cave that I was hoping to go in, but the water's just a little too high. We can get in a little bit, but we're afraid Brian found that he was having to duck too much to control the kayak. We're in maybe 10 feet. We're told it only goes back about 100 feet. I don't see that. And it looks like the wall gets lower.
Yeah, it looks like the ceiling gets lower.
Or the ceiling gets lower.
So it would be more and more difficult.
Yeah.
Now, we could push ourselves along the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah, I can go in a little bit more here.
Just forget
Stay to the left. I think it's the ceiling is lower to the right, Brian.
Okay.
So cool. So cool.
I feel like it gets lower as we go in. Well, keep going as long as you feel comfortable.
Yeah, okay. I think I could just scoot myself backwards without even turning around.
Can you push further back in, or
What?
do you want to go further?
I go a little further. I'm bent over, but
Yeah,
I'm not worried about getting stuck. I think I can get out the same way.
yeah. I wonder if
It is getting lower.
I'm not going to go in any further. I keep having to lower my head more and more. It's hard on my neck and I can't see
I can see
anything.
the end. I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm almost at the end. So I think the end is right back there. It's not showing up on the video, and I'm really bent over, so it's kind of uncomfortable, so I'm probably gonna go back, but I think I'm pretty much to the end.
Push yourself more to the right. Yeah, it definitely gets lower as you go further in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was lower back there. It's getting pretty low.
You know, if it was just 2 inches, if the water was just an inch or two lower, it would be a lot more doable.
Are you taking me?
Yeah, it's still videoing.
Huh?
It is still videoing.
Came out. Well, that was kind of fun. It would have been nice if the water had been a little lower, but I was still able to get almost all the way back, which is what I wanted to do. I would have liked it to have been lower water and a bigger cave.
We got some turtles on this log up here. See how close we can get before they decide to slip into the water. More turtles. Look at this log up here in this tree. The only thing we can think of is that the flood carried it up there, so that shows you how high this flood was they had a couple weeks ago. That must be 20 feet in the air at least, 25 to 30 feet.
This is so peaceful. What a privilege to be able to do this.
It's kind of whistling in my ears. Blowing across the river, so it's wanting to push us into the left bank. Now we got the wind blowing directly into our faces, I think. Well, we're still moving downriver, of course. The current's taking us. The main thing we have to do is just kind of keep ourselves positioned in the river where we want to be. Linda's pillow has sprung a leak, so she has to be constantly blowing it up, which is annoying. The water level in the river during the summertime is normally 10 feet. they told us. Right now it's, I don't know, between 14 and 16. So imagine the water 4 to 6 feet lower than this. I don't know what it was at flood. They were kind of record-setting floods that they had here a couple weeks ago. It must have been 30, 40 feet. There's the tree that I'm sure went into the water in the recent floods. Look how leafed out it is. I wonder if it's possible for it to continue to live that way. You know, it's still got its roots in the ground. So, over there. So, could it continue to just live sideways instead of vertical? We couldn't really find any nice looking spots along the bank to beach and eat lunch, so we're just eating in the kayaks. So we've come about 2 miles.
What?
We've come about 2 miles. Fighting directly into the wind. This actually looks like some rapids up here. Yeah. I think I'm stuck. Whoa. I didn't think that class zeros had rapids, but maybe they said class 1. So we think we're coming up to the takeout point. We just saw a sign that was kind of hard to see, kind of mangled and covered with mud, but it seemed to say canoe and kayak takeout. We might see the stairs here, although, yeah, I think that's the stairs. That's supposed to be where we take out, so we'll see how that works. They were kind of steep when we were down here before. So, can you move down to the end of that step, and then I'll tell you what. Why don't you let me go first? I'll get my canoe out, and then I'll help get you. So you back up into the mouth of this creek over here. Yeah, they definitely have cleaned the steps off. Oh, you want to try rolling it on the rollers or just carry it up?
Not really. I don't know if it's good for us. We could do this.
We need to have a pulley system or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I've never seen this roller system before. That might be. But,
The other day there was mud on these steps, and that would have been much harder. It was really slippery. Oh, careful. Wait, if you turn,